Welcome to another episode of That's My Biz, the Internet Business Showcase where we bring exposure to products, services, and special causes of local businesses and organizations. Thank you so much for joining us. We're coming live to you from the BizLink Center studios in Duluth, Georgia. I'm Pamela Adams, your host, and I'm so happy to introduce you to today's guest. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of That's My Biz. I have another great guest for you today, Miss Alonia Jones. Welcome, Alonia.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Want to share a little bit with you about Alonia. She's an inspiring communications professional and principal of Dream to Destiny Enterprises. She has 20 plus years of exceptional experience in journalism, public speaking, marketing, and public relations. Her life's purpose is to help usher others into their destiny through the utilization of her expert communication skills, both written and verbal. With passion, precision, power, and professionalism, she writes, speaks, trains, and empowers others to do the same. We are looking forward to the information that you have to share with us today.
All right.
First, let's start with Dream to Destiny.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and where that actually came from.
Wow. Thank you again for having me.
Absolutely.
And I want to tell you that Dream to Destiny Enterprises is a full-service corporate communications and professional development company. I've been a journalist for over 20 years, and one of the things that I've discovered is that a lot of people have dreams, they have goals, but they do not understand a lot of times the importance of having professionally written materials. Oh, I've got a book inside of me.
Right.
Oh, I've got a great company idea. The first thing anybody that's serious about listening to you is going to want to have is something in writing. And people a lot of times have difficulty getting it written out.
Okay.
I personally believe that everybody is special, that everybody has gifts and something to contribute to the world, but everybody may not be able to articulate that. I count it as a blessing and a gift from God to use my gift of communications.
Okay.
So with Dream to Destiny, we help you get from where you are to where you want to be, and we do it through the use of our expert communication skills.
Okay, so taking that dream that everyone has, and then actually helping them realize the destiny.
Yes.
Okay, I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
So now we also hear that you are launching an inspirational product line.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about that and how that ties in with everyone's dreams and destiny.
It does. It really does. And it was a God idea. I won't say it was a good idea. It was a
Okay.
God
Love
idea.
it.
It was totally inspired by God. People always tell me that I'm inspiring. I just happen again to believe that there's something good in everybody,
Okay.
and everybody can dream. And my life by itself has been a series of changes. I've sold everything from Avon to Mary Kay to home interiors because I knew that I had an entrepreneurial spirit. I've owned a magazine. I've worked in nonprofit arenas. I've worked with the faith-based community. I've worked in academic settings, just doing a lot of different things. And it was all a part of a pattern. It was all a part of a process. And that's the key word, a process. So the product line is going to be tied into that process. We're in the process of getting everything trademarked right now, so I can't even say
That's
the
important.
name of it. But it's so exciting. Oh, my God, it's so exciting. And when you all hear about it, you're going to be
Yes.
like, that was a God idea.
Okay,
But
okay.
it does talk about the different metamorphoses that we all go through. We all go through phases. And I know for those, especially those who are entrepreneurs, you go through so many changes, and those who are around you who may not understand what it means to be an entrepreneur probably are looking at you like
Okay.
you're crazy, saying, you know, who does
Right,
this, you
right,
know. But
exactly.
an entrepreneur is a risk taker,
Okay.
and in the process of taking those risks, you go through changes. And so the product line will be a series of T-shirts, jewelry, journal materials, all kinds of products, so that when you see that emblem, it will be an emblem of hope and perseverance, and it will be an emblem that every person that has ever dreamed, which is everybody,
Okay.
will be able to relate to.
Now let's see, can we say what the actual emblem, because every time we think about going through metamorphosis
Yeah,
and change, I don't
yeah.
know if that's part of the secret.
That's what, well, it's obvious.
Okay.
It's obvious. It's a butterfly.
Okay.
And so it has a name, and when you see it, it's going to be beautiful.
Okay.
And we did not forget about the men.
Okay.
Of course, when we introduce, it will probably cater to the women,
Okay.
but a counterpart to it will be a male product
Okay.
that they can identify with, because men dream as well, but most times, you see women wearing the butterflies.
Right,
So we
right.
wanted to make sure that everybody knew that we were open to all
Right,
people.
right.
So we're very,
Yeah.
very, very excited.
That's good. And that, of course, the butterfly is part of your Alonia Jones logo.
Yes.
And it just all makes perfect sense. And
Yes.
always we met, and I saw some sneak previews possibly at the
Yes.
event that we were at,
Yes.
and got a chance to really see it. So we're really looking forward to seeing those finished products and
Yes.
everything come out. And I'd share with you, one of my favorite quotes when we talk about the butterfly, and that's, how do you become a butterfly? You have to want to fly so much that you're willing to give up being a caterpillar.
Absolutely.
And I love that concept, and it sounds like it ties right into
It does.
what you're talking about, that change. Talk a little bit more about how you work with individuals and going through the changes, because I know some are more difficult than others.
Yes, they are. I've worked with people from various walks of life, from entrepreneurs who are just starting out to corporate executives. A lot of times that starts off with writing their bio.
Okay.
Every professional needs a bio.
Yes.
I'm going to
Yes.
say that again. Every
Yes.
professional needs a bio, because it says who you are.
Yes.
But a lot of times the difficulty with that is people feel like, well, I don't want to say that because I feel like
Right.
I'm bragging. And
Right.
I have to tell them, if it's true, it's a fact. And that's not bragging.
That's right.
And no one's going to know until you let them know.
Right. And if you don't brag on yourself, who else
Who
is
else
going to,
will?
right?
And then they have to keep in mind that it's an art, it's a craft.
Right.
So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you
Okay.
do it. And I live my life by that. So there is a art form of crafting that bio to where it's effective, so that it says what it needs to say. I know as I was rebranding myself, I was another name for a very long time.
Okay.
But I'm Mrs. Jones now.
Okay.
So I'm branding Jones, and writing my bio and going over it. I was saying, oh my God, this is too long.
Okay.
So I had to find a way, even for myself, how do I chop this up so people don't go to sleep after
Right.
they can't read too much. So when you get to the website, you'll see Alona the journalist,
Okay.
Alona the speaker, Alona the coach, Alona the this or the that, the
Okay.
preacher, whatever, all the hats that I wear. And so as I work with different people, I meet them where they are
Okay.
and give them what they need.
Okay.
And so that means that I've got to be listening, I've got to be compassionate, and I've got to be able to embrace the individuality that we all have.
That's
And that's what I've been able to do.
Great. Now, share a little bit too, because it's something that we experience here on the show, because we always ask individuals to send us their bio, but in our form, I've cut it down to 100 words, because we
Yes.
only have so long to do an intro.
Yes.
I guess share the importance of having the extended bio, but then also having that shorter bio, and maybe just a tip on how they can pull out the most important pieces to
Yes.
provide a short bio.
Well, I've worked several years for Who's Who in Black Atlanta,
Okay.
and it was through my writing with them that I received a nomination with Susan Taylor for Most Outstanding Journalist.
Okay.
And that kind of was the catalyst for me to write my life story, The Pursuit of Destiny. But as far as pulling the bio together, one of the things that I learned for Who's Who, they would request that you have a 180-word bio.
Okay.
That 180-word bio is considered your abbreviated bio.
Okay.
But again, every professional needs a full bio, and it's up to you what you put in it. But think about everything that you've done. Nothing is too minimal to include. When you go back and look at it again, you can decide what you'll keep and what you won't keep. But don't take for granted anything that you've done, because again, if you don't tell people, they won't know.
Right.
And then you have to also consider your audience. I have a bio that says Alona Jones, the businesswoman.
Okay.
But when I'm going to somebody's church to preach as their Women's Day, my bio says Elder Alona Jones.
Okay.
And it speaks to my experience as an ordained minister.
Okay.
So you may have to have more than one form, but you
Okay.
definitely need a full and an abbreviated.
Okay.
And your abbreviated is, for example, we do work with the Atlanta Business League, and if you'll notice for Super Tuesday, when they have the
Yes.
program books, they can't put every nominee's
Right.
full bio in
Right.
the book. And so they expect those nominees to be able to give them an abbreviated bio that does not compromise who they are. It still says who they are in a
Right.
nutshell,
Right.
but that has to be crafted. And there have been many times when we were pulling those together. some people may not have had a bio. Some people may have had 2 or 3 pages. But trying to get those abbreviated bios was so important. So you have to have it.
Yeah, I can see that. And I love the tip about having different variations of your bio. Because, for example, I've been to events where it had more of their personal information in it. And, my bio initially didn't have any of that, where I was from, things like that. So I love hearing that importance in having the different variations. So definitely put that into place.
And also, I think it's important that your bio, there are some bios that are just cut and dry, just straight to the chase. But I also believe that people do business with people that they feel like they know or they can connect with. So I have a tendency to write bios that read like stories because, again, everybody has a story. And so, but it does depend on who I'm sending it to, just like a resume. If I know that I've got all kinds of expertise and I'm going to apply for an accounting position, I need to make sure that that resume speaks to my accounting experience and not my journalism experience. So the same principle applies with the bio.
Okay, great. Now, and then speaking of the journalism, share a little bit about your background, because I know all of that experience that you've had over the years ties into where you are now and really in getting to that destiny point.
And it's a beautiful story. I'm thankful, and I don't say that to be haughty. I say that with the utmost of humility. But I've been writing since I was 5, and that's all of 20 years.
Okay.
I've been writing since I was 5, seriously. And I'm an Atlanta native. I graduated from Bass High School. I received the Mayor Scholar Award, which was an award for excellence in essay writing. I had to write an essay on what I would do if I were mayor. I graduated, went to Spelman College, and majored in English. Got out of college and was going to take the world by storm.
Exactly.
Had no experience, nothing. And I started off at the Chamber of Commerce making copies. Oh, the disappointment of my life. It was terrible. I was like, I'm not making copies. I went to Spelman. I have a degree.
You have a destiny.
Yes,
you have a dream, and you got to get to that destiny.
It's not tied up into making these copies. But long story short, I was encouraged by my president, Dr. Janetta Cole, to accept that position, and it ended up being a wonderful opportunity because it served as a building block. I started off at the chamber making those copies, but in 3 months I was promoted to another department, and I was bold enough to go to my supervisor and tell him, I know how to write. Can I write your newsletter? And he said yes. And so when I started writing the newsletter, I honed my writing skills there. Someone noticed my work ethic from United Way, and so I got to go to United Way and work for the VIP Initiative program. From there, I went to the Housing Authority of Fulton County. My boss was Betty Davis, and she did not micromanage me. She allowed me to do some more writing, to train some resident leaders, and everything was a progression. But in each of those progressive steps, my writing skills were honed. I ended up doing some work in marketing and public relations. I worked for the Champion newspaper. I worked for Paragon Public Relations. Lou and Teresa Walker are both deceased now. Lou was a commissioner for DeKalb County, and Teresa recently passed. But I cut my teeth working with them. I worked in the PR department at Clark Atlanta University, and then I started a magazine called Imani, and it received the Spelman Alumni Achievement Award. It received a letter of commendation from the White House. But every experience built up to something greater, and in those experiences I've met so many people. I've been able to talk to so many people. I've been able to encourage so many people who, as I wrote for them, they didn't think they had a song worth singing. And I said, by the time I got through writing out A through Z, they were like, oh my God, is this me? And I'm like, yeah, you bad, girl, you bad. You bad. So I know that I was born to inspire. I know that I've been given a gift of communication, and it's not just for me, it's to help somebody else. It's all about helping push others, because we're blessed when we help others. And I really, really, really believe that. And then just seeing smiles on people's faces saying, wow, I worked at Target for 15 years and I didn't realize I had this many skills when we wrote that resume or when we wrote that bio. So that's what it's all about.
That is great. And then, of course, with helping everyone else with their communications, I know that you're moving more into that speaking arena as well.
Yes.
Now tell me, what types of groups are you looking to be in front of?
I'm looking to be in front of anyone that's ready to go to the next level,
Okay.
whether that's students in a college arena, whether that's corporate executives that are possibly about to be ousted to early retirement, that need somebody to really push them and help them really take a look at their skills. I always speak to church groups. I'm going to preach till the day I die. That's all it is to it. But the good part about it is that because of my gift of journalism, because of my gift of communication, I know that wherever I am, I can speak the language, and that's one of my trademarks.
Okay.
Whatever you ask for, whatever your occasion is, I can give it to you. I
Okay.
can know my audience, know what they need, and give it to them,
Okay.
and I'm excited about that.
Great, great. Well, everyone, you have heard a great story, and please keep an eye out for Alonia. And also, before we leave, I want to tell everyone your website
Okay.
and then what they can expect to receive when they go to your website, because I know it's chocked full of information and resources.
Yes. I've got several websites. Most times I send people to what I call the mothership.
Okay.
And it's dream-2-destiny.com. When you go there, it will tie you into everything that I'm doing. But as you mentioned, I'm looking for people to know me more as a speaker. I think everybody knows me as a journalist in general terms, but I'm hoping to expand so that people will see me more as a speaker.
Okay.
And you can go to alonajones.com.
Okay.
And that will give you my speaking platform.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Everyone, make sure you keep that ear out for Alonia. Go to her website, check out all the great resources, because she is here to help you move from that dream to your destiny. So remember www.dream-2-destiny.com.
Yes.
And then also, if you're looking to book Alonia as a speaker,
Yes.
certainly go to her website, aloniajones.com. And
That's
that
it.
information you'll be able to find as well on our on-demand episodes. So be sure to check us out. Again, this has been another great episode of That's My Biz. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone, until next time, let's connect.